Alright guys, so as I promised, we're gonna be talking about factions and faction war this week, unless something else really big pops up. But just so you guys know, as I promised as well, we're gonna go raw and uncut. No, I'm just kidding, we're gonna cut that shit out of this video because if not, it's gonna get boring very quick. Alright, so which one is one of the biggest problems I've been feeling? And it has to do with faction wars, and that actually open another issue. That is, some factions, they don't have things you mostly need. You don't have the champions that do certain jobs that you would want them to do, alright? And that's why I want to be looking at each faction separately. Not gonna be today. Today I'm just gonna show you guys the major issue that some factions have. If you're looking for a sign to get a fresh start in raids and become a part of my squad, this is it. Click my link in the description and get a free Karato as well as 3 more epics as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email, launch raids and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champion. This is your chance to get Karato for free as well as Anax, Uugo and Mausoleum Mage as you progress your account in raid. So click on my link right now and claim them. So let's take a look. Right now I am on hard on faction wars, right? And if I was coming here, as you see, I missed a couple of them. I just pretty much ran whatever I could. Okay. Oh my god, let's go back. Alright, just jumped the gun kinda quick. I don't know what's going on. There are gremlins in my keyboard right now. Alright guys, so let's take a look in here. As you guys see, I have this basic team, right? And for me to get 3 stars on faction wars on hard mode, you're gonna have some special things you have to do. In this case, is defeat 6+ enemies while they are under hex debuffs. So the only thing we need to do is come in here and take a look. Who do we have with the right debuffs? And in this case, it will be Hex. There you go. Alright, so pretty self-explanatory, okay? In this case, I actually have 3 champions. I have the Tomb Angel, I have Talasia, alright? What is great and works just fine. The problem, as you guys may see, is 2 of those champions are legendary champions, okay? And my other champion is actually an epic. What means, if I hadn't pulled those legendary champions and by off chance I didn't have this epic, now I understand by the point you're in hard mode you definitely gonna have pulled her at some point, but it could be a situation where I don't have her build, okay? And it happens in a lot of areas on hard mode faction wars. So in this case I would have the champions I need, but it may not be the same case for everybody. Now when you look also different things, I may have to put bleed, right? I only have 2 champions that can do that, and yes, while one of them is 6-star, the other one is not, passless. So this is where I'm going with the issues. Some of those factions do not have champions that do certain jobs, and if they do, they have 1. And even so, a lot of areas, it's not attack your enemies. What it means, you're gonna be having to dig one by one to be able to actually complete those missions, okay? Like for example, as you guys see, some of those, they just don't have the champions you need to do a lot of those jobs, all right? And this can create some major issues when trying to complete hard mode. Now let's go back in here. All right, so in this case, for example, place 20 poison debuffs, right? Now, when you're looking here, poisoners, I don't think that's such an issue. Okay, so I do have actually 4 champions. If you see, some of those other champions are same champions. So I do have those champions. Again, not the simplest champions, okay? And the most because you're talking about legendaries. One of them, yes, she's an epic champion, Ayashma. Not a bad champion, I just never had why to build her. So attacks 1 twice, attacks all enemies. And yes, it could be an argument to, if you are already at hard mode on faction wars, you probably have champions that do this job. But when you look at burns, for example, we only have passless doing burns. So if I get to any of those stages and I'm required to do burns, I will have to level passless. And that's what I see in a lot of the faction wars right now, is some of those situations like Block Revive, for example. Yes, you may have some factions that have multiple champions that do this job, but it's not the case on everyone. Like, on a quick note, one thing I'm noticing here, let me see if I can find, like, turn meter control. I'll be honest, this is a great faction to actually get turn meter control, but bombs, for example. Now, I don't know if there's any of the stages that requires me to place bombs, but I would have 0 champions. Burns, I do have 2, but look at, again, one's a mythical, the other one's a legendary, and not an... And this legendary, by the way, it's well and cracking. If you're free to play, you're definitely gonna take years over years before you can get this other champion, okay? Because as you guys see, Saoirse, you get her from Clarion Points. So to be able to get her, you would have to, one of the two, spend money or spend years playing this game. Same thing I would almost say with a mythical champions. You guys know how hard it is to pull unless you're spending money or you get very lucky. So in this case, I would have been stuck on Burns. Poisons again. One champion that actually has it, and it is Myceliac Priest. Okay, so if I get to any of those that I am required to do poisons, I will have to get him 6-star. Basically, that's what it is. Now, I understand the new Faction Wars hard mode is supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to just go in there and complete in your first try. I understand that. But I feel one of the biggest problems on games after they get to a certain age, and that's the same reason why I've seen so many games dying at some point, it has been focusing on the end game only. Now, don't take me wrong, definitely. Basically, you already build the ground up, right? So up to a certain level, you should be able to be getting to stage 20 of dungeons and everything else, even as a free-to-play player. So that's fine. So that's your base average for players. But the problem on top of it is when you start only adding stuff for end game players and kind of disregarding a lot of times the guys coming in. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, not so much Titan event have been slacking because it's been too many resources, too much resource intense. Okay, but now that I finally got the new champion, we have, for example, the quest, and it's fully upgrade Tolling Foulbeard skills, fully unlock Tolling Foulbeard's masteries, awaken Tolling Foulbeards to level 3 or higher, basically, etc, etc, etc. Okay? Now the problem I have with that in the end of the day is, if could not go for the fusion, let's be honest, most players cannot do fusions, okay? Unless you're to a certain level to where you can go Ultra Nightmare, even if you're free to play, and save enough resources to be able to actually take the Demon Lord on Ultra Nightmare and be able to farm some shards. You will not be able to do fusions, okay? Unless you decide to spend money. What do you want me to say? That's reality. Okay, so when we start getting here, it start becoming to, you know, you have to be more towards endgame, or at least mid to endgame. Some of those, even for endgame players, like clear stage 10th or higher of the Spider's Den on hard difficulty in less than 5 turns. Have I done it? Yeah. Can I do it? Yes. Can I do it with my regular team? No, because it's not 100%. But yes, sure. Let's go for it. I can clear as long as I nuke in the right speed. Piece of cake, yeah, because I have a lot of cold hards, I have a lot of poisoners, I have a lot of burners. So yeah, don't worry about it, right? Now, clear all awakened stages in Soul Crush. Now, some of those, don't take me wrong, I get it, and they give a good amount of points, and I understand not everybody being able to complete. That works with me, okay? But then Plaric can argue that you guys can come in here, spend 140 energy in the Dragon's Lair, wins only. So yeah, pretty much just use energy and get 15 points for 140 energy. I don't even need to say, right? So this is kind of low. I don't expect to be too high, but like 15, man, come on, like double that thing. You know, by the way, as you guys know, I swore right in the beginning of the video, so I'm trying not to swear again because I think it's like pretty much you can say 3 times the word that starts with F on a PG-13 movie, but if you say 4 times, it goes NC-17 or rated R. So that's where I'm trying to go with right now. Yeah, so pretty much like 15 points. Also kill 50 enemy champions in any arena mode. Yeah, sure, if you go tag arena, gets a little bit faster, but 15 points, man, come on. That's kind of like way low, because if you're a new player, would you want to be able to move up? Yeah, it would be fun, right? Get a couple of nice resources and the most of you getting started. Second, yes, 5 full energy, pretty good. 100 greater oil, yeah. 25 twisted thorns. A whole 25, don't spend just one place. 100 gems, not bad, but you need to get 400 points to be able to get this. And yes, if you're clearing on this whole like get 280, 320 points, yeah, sure, you can do that, fine. But still, even for most players, it's still a little bit of like pushing. And so some of those rank 3 basalt 1, okay, and you need to get what, 400 points, pretty much 400 points everything. 1 legendary 6-star, 50 twisted thorns, and yes, things get better the higher you go, okay. Barrel, always very nice to get. 1 void shard. Clarion, start giving 2. Start making people actually want to spend resources to get those things. Come on. 1 immortal, not bad, not crazy. I feel when you start getting here, 1 primal shard, sure. 100 twisted thorns, decent. But then you start getting here and start slowing down. And yes, 1 mythical skill tome and 100 twisted thorns. So, and that's a max you can get, right? I feel there are good rewards. I'm not saying they're not, but for the most part, I feel it's a lot of grind. Like, I am not fully focusing on actually getting those unless I get in here, oh, clear all double boss stage and Soul Cross on hard. Yeah, if I get there, I'll just do it to get the points, but not stressing about it. Clear all Awakened stage and Soul Cross, sure, let's go. Clear stage 10 or higher Spider's Den, yes, sure. Like I said, I can do it, okay, on 5, not in my usual team, that I feel it's safe. It takes just a couple of extra turns, not those many seconds more, but I know it's 100%. If I need to do 2 runs to get this, piece of cake, right? Not a problem. But most people, I will tell you right now, cannot do this in 5 turns, okay? Yes, almost every single content creator may be able to, and the most if you're not free to play. But let's be honest, we're talking about the other 99% of players out there. They can't. Okay, clear stage 10 or higher, Ice Golem Peak on hard. Yeah, doable. 6-5, I don't think it's that bad. Dragon's Lair, kind of the same. I feel as long as you can clear the mobs and you have some decent poisoners to go against him, even if you have epic champions. Biggest issue usually is clear the mobs fast enough, okay? So some of those are not bad, alright? But they have some of them that kind of get annoying. Another problem. Alright, so as you guys see here, top 100 players, right? Our boys at Plarian have been really focusing on leaderboards. Now, a lot of those leaderboards, let's be very clear, nobody cares about, okay? Because we have millions of players playing this game, and you're showing the top 100, what is really cool, because those guys are probably the guys paying for 4/5 of what the game's making right now, okay? There is almost zero way that those guys on the top board in the most, this level 48 is not spending, sorry I'm trying to find the word without cursing, but an amount of money that would make Elon Musk blush, okay? Yeah, so they're spending a lot of money. If you tell me that any of those guys, they're like #1 in some of those boards, and the most when you guys look at the difference on points, 3,500 in second place, at 1,090. There is some ungodly amount of money being spent, okay? And sure, look, Plarian, you want to cater to those people, but at the same time, don't throw on people's faces, all right? because kind of annoying. I really, the only reason why I go to the leaderboards is just show you guys how ridiculous it is, okay? And yeah, it's honestly, how about focusing a little bit on the little guy that may come in and stay, instead of coming in and realize, well, I'm way over my head, I'm never going to catch up with any of those players, and just uninstall the game. And if you guys think I'm being mean, let me know in the comments, because in reality, the only reason why I'm calling that out is because I want people to come play the game and stay. As you guys know, I'm doing a lot of things trying to build a more sense of community. We still have the giveaway going on. I'm gonna leave the link of the giveaway below so you guys know the rules and everything, okay? It is before their legends. It's a little bit fun stuff. Probably make some comic books, strips, books, whatever, about some of the stories people are sending me, and first and second place gonna get accounts. So, pretty cool stuff. Get involved, guys. Subscribe if you haven't. Give me a like, leave me a comment, helps a lot the channel. And as always, I'll see you in the game.